Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Bank Shop Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Sunday, February 16th, 2025. And if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most, including my top play in college basketball, my Bank Shop Best Bet, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Sunday in college basketball. First up, it's Memphis and Wichita State. This one is 12 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on ESPN. Now, last Sunday, we took Wichita State against South Florida, and that was a win for the Shockers, 75-70. In that video, I talked about how I think Wichita State's a dark horse in this conference. There's no doubting that Memphis is the big favorite to win the AAC. But I still think that the American's an open conference in general. This is a pretty tough tournament. I mean, we saw Memphis lose last year in the conference tournament to Wichita State, even though Memphis was the big favorite. And I think Wichita State can compete in this game like they did in the first meeting of this regular season, where it was a 61-53 final score, big-time defensive battle, only giving up 61 points to this very strong Memphis offense is really impressive. And, Wichita State defensively, a good rebounding team, a disciplined team. They force tough shots. They don't take too many fouls. That's really key against a Memphis team that does rely on getting to the free throw line quite a bit. I think Wichita State is going to be able to compete in this one, have a chance to win it outright. We're getting a really good price because Memphis is on a big-time win streak. They have a great record. I'm going to go Wichita State in this one plus the points. Next up, we have Bradley and Drake. This one is 2 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on ESPN2. Now, it's rare that I'm going to take a team on a big-time win streak like we see with Drake because a lot of times those teams are just severely overvalued. Drake's on the third longest active win streak in college basketball in 11 games. They're 23-2 overall this season and 13-2 in conference play, and they're playing at home, so usually a recipe for disaster as far as finding value with a team like that. But I think Bradley is one of the more overrated teams in this conference and in mid-major college basketball. I don't think they match up well with Drake in this game. And I like Drake to win the second meeting of the regular season comfortably like they did in the first one, and this time by probably an even bigger margin. I like Drake laying the points. When you look at Bradley, a team that really relies on the three-point jumper, they're number one in the country in three-point shooting this season at 40.7% as a team, and they score 38% of their points from the perimeter. The problem is Drake is an excellent three-point defense, top 70 nationally, and they also just don't give up a lot of threes to begin with, only giving up 27% of their points from three-point jumpers. So I think Bradley's offense is going to be uncomfortable. Now, both of these teams have had issues taking care of the basketball, but only one of these teams has been able to force a lot of turnovers consistently, and that's been Drake's really aggressive defense. They're 16th in the country in turnover percentage defensively compared to Bradley, ranked 267th. For me, I just don't see a way or a path that Bradley is going to be able to compete unless they miraculously shoot 45-50% from three and make 10-15 threes by the end of the game. And even still, even if they get those numbers, I still think Drake's going to be able to score at will against one of the more overrated defenses in this conference. Give me Drake laying the points. Next up, it's Creighton and St. John's. This one is 3 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on Fox Sports 1. Now, these are two of the best records in the Big East Conference. Creighton's at 11-3, St. John's at 12-2. Both of these teams just had their long win streak snapped in their last games. Creighton, they lost to UConn at home by 4 points, while St. John's lost to Villanova on the road by 2 in a game that went down to the final shot. And for me, honestly, these are, like I said, two of the best records in the conference. They're going to be high seeds in the NCAA tournament, but I'm not the biggest on either of these teams or really the Big East as a whole this season when it comes to the long-term outlook or, into the NCAA tournament. I just think that this has been a down year for this Big East Conference, and I worry about the strength of schedule similar to a conference like the ACC, which has some top-heavy, strong teams and good records like Duke. But the rest of the conference, even the teams that we're used to seeing compete, it's a little bit of a down year for them. And when you look at teams like Xavier and even Villanova and Providence, not their best seasons this year. So yes, St. John's and Creighton have been able to rack up the wins against those types of teams, but when they play tougher competition, I do worry about them. But that's for a different time. They're playing against each other for this one, and I like St. John's in this game. I think they match up well. When you look at Creighton, this is a defense that gives up a lot of its points from two-point range, 57% of its points via two-point field goals. That bodes well for St. John's. This is a team that cannot shoot from three-point range. One of the big reasons why they lost to Villanova, but St. John's an excellent 2-point shooting team. They scored 60% of their points there. I think St. John's offense will be very comfortable, and St. John's already has one of the best defenses in the country. They force turnovers. They force tough shots. I think Creighton's going to be uncomfortable in this game, especially playing on the road, and the fact that St. John's is playing with revenge. They'll have a great home court advantage playing with revenge. Excellent head coach in Rick Pitino. Same thing, for Creighton on the other side with McDermott, but I got to give the edge to St. John's in this one, laying the points. Next up, we have Nebraska and Northwestern. This one is going to be 3 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on the Big Ten Network. Now, Northwestern definitely took a big blow when they learned that Brooks Barnhizer was going to be out for the rest of the season. And, sometimes you'll hear some people say, oh, their star players out, they're giving up. They don't have a great record. Why would I want to back a team that's giving up on their season? But you look to a team like Iowa, who now is going to be down Owen Freeman for the rest of the year. They've been playing so poorly, and then they took down Rutgers on Wednesday, 84-73 outright as a 7-point dog. These are, the collegiate teams. You rarely see teams really mail it in. Even a team like Miami, which has every reason to give up on their season, players injured, underperformances, big losing streak, your coach steps down, your legendary head coach steps down. Miami's, while they were terrible at one point, they're actually playing pretty competitive basketball, covering spreads and actually winning some games outright. So I don't think Northwestern is going to be anywhere close to mailing it in. And I like their chances at home. This is a great home team. You look at their, not just this season, but throughout the years in the Big Ten, very tough to beat when they're playing at home. I don't think Nebraska, I don't really trust them on the road right now. I mean, they've had a couple of nice road wins in recent games, but still, for the most part, a team I trust a lot more when they're playing at home. I think Northwestern matches up well in this game. I think we're getting a really good price with the Wildcats because of their recent struggles. Give me Northwestern in this one. Next up, it's Northern Kentucky taking on Milwaukee. This one is going to be 3 p.m. Eastern as well. It's going to be on ESPN+. I think the revenge-minded road dog in this one, plus the points against a team that you have to worry is in a little bit of a letdown spot, is the way to go. I mean, Milwaukee's coming off the overtime win over Wright State, an impressive win. It's been an impressive season for the Panthers, but Northern Kentucky, you could argue, is playing its best basketball of the season. They are playing with revenge. I actually think they match up quite well in this game. As long as they can limit the offensive rebounds for Milwaukee. Milwaukee's the second best offensive rebounding team in the country, but Northern Kentucky in conference play has been sharper on the defensive glass than they were at the very beginning of the season. So I think the Norse are going to be competitive in this game, have a chance to pull off the upset, and at least cover the number as the road dog. And that's it. Those are the games for Sunday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, including that top play in college hoops, my bank shop best bet, you can find those at Pickdawgz Premium, and there is a link in the description. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.